You're tuned in to the It's Real podcast with your hosts, Kayla and Andrew Yagi. Each week, we'll talk about what happens behind the scenes working full-time in real estate and share with you real-life stories, our successes and failures as we work to help consumers and industry professionals reach their real estate and real-life goals. Here we go. It's episode 30 of the It's Real podcast. I'm Andrew Yagi, and I'm a real estate agent.
I'm Kayla and I'm a mortgage lender.
Kayla, great to see you.
Always a pleasure, Andrew. How have you been?
You know, I've been good. I told myself I was going to sit a little bit higher this week because I feel like you're always framed up so high.
Yeah, I'm just more proper, apparently. So someone did say that in our podcast. You're always so chill and laid back, and they appreciate that. So maybe I should take a note.
Well, it's good. It's good to be chill, Kayla. And
I know. I'm learning.
Which honestly is easier said than done. You know, working in real estate and mortgage. I remember when I first jumped into this, and I had so much anxiety over so many different things. And this is going to go wrong. That's going to go wrong. And after a while, you just have to tell yourself, like, you know what, it's going to be what it's going to be. There's only so much that you can affect, and you know, you can't help it when something happens. I mean, you can anticipate it, and you can hopefully have a good plan in place if something does happen, but don't sweat the small stuff because it's all small stuff.
It's all small stuff, and you can only control what you could control. And in this business, yes, you need to be professional, but you also need to be relatable too.
Right. How I saw you were traveling a little bit this last week. Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, I went to Atlanta, Georgia, although it was not much warmer than here, probably by about 10 degrees. But I was filming some content for a podcast that I do for sales with a gentleman named Skip Wilcox. So he is in mortgage as well, and he connects with a lot of sales individuals. You saw we interviewed Jeb Blunt last week, so that was cool.
Yeah.
You wrote Fanatical Prospecting, so that was cool.
I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. You were supposed to send me the link, by the way, when it was completed.
It's not out yet, so but I will. But yeah, a really good opportunity to get down, shoot some video content, and connect. So yeah, short trip, but it was really good.
Have you ever read Fanatical Prospecting?
I have.
Ooh.
I've highlighted that book quite a bit too. It's a good read. It's a lot of good tidbits for anybody in sales.
Yeah, no, I've read it a couple times as well. It was given to me probably about a decade ago, and really is probably one of the best sales and prospecting books, period.
Yeah, and he's got another one coming out here soon, and about AI, so that'll be cool to see.
Ooh, and like Fanatical AI prospecting, or?
I think it's just utilizing AI in, using it for efficiencies, but not as a complete replacement. So I'm very curious what it'll be, because we all know that technology is changing constantly. Even AI is changing constantly. So I'm curious to see what it'll be. But
well, I am too. I told myself this fall, since I farm a little bit when I was out in the tractor, that I was going to read a book on AI and like really get a good grasp on it. And, I just couldn't find a good one that I really wanted to dive into. So maybe Jeb's will be that. We use some AI already in our business, kind of with our CRM. We have an AI ISA inside sales agent that will, reach out via text to people. And actually the company we work with has a voice, an AI voice, virtual assistant, and kind of based on where our business is going, working with more family and friends and past clients, sphere of influence. I don't know that it's going to be terribly useful, but I might be wrong on that. But it's very interesting just to see how things are changing. And again, like you say, look at those efficiencies.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of capabilities with it. And Andy, you've always been, super techie. I think it's right up your alley to continue to explore that.
Yeah, no, we'll certainly look into it. But the biggest thing that I've learned now, 3 years into real estate, is, there are so many great gadgets out there, but you have to focus a little bit too.
The best one is the one you use.
Absolutely.
I've seen you've been doing some flying still. You were in Texas, Arizona.
I was all over the place, actually, with one of our good friends, Derek Brandenburg, who actually introduced me to eXp Realty. We've kind of crossed paths back in college. he is living kind of in a southern state now, and kind of got. I would like to say that I'm the reason why he finished his
Mhm.
pilot's license. We went
Wow.
to a real estate event a little over 2.5 years ago, and I flew us there, and he was hooked. But he was flying back. I don't see him very much anymore, just with everyone being busy with life and family. So I
Yeah.
was just telling him, hey, like if you're going to fly back, let me come and fly with you because it would be just great to catch up and kind of since I'm a flight instructor, help him work on his instrument rating, kind of the next step in training as well. And so we had a really really great time and covered a lot of ground and even stopped through Roswell, New Mexico, Kayla, which is kind of the big UFO city
Mm-hmm.
40s where the UFO was sighted or crashed. So we had to go check out the Roswell, the
That's
big
cool.
UFO museum too. So
That's awesome. A lot. It's amazing how much you see when you are your own pilot. That's awesome.
yeah. Well, it's just the ability and freedom to stop anywhere and just along
Yeah.
the way and see things. I mean, the people you meet along the way. I mean, just
Yeah. That's cool.
life's about experiences. That's probably the biggest thing that I've taken away lately, and especially having 3 young kids at home, Kayla, and
Hmm.
even this week I've had maybe not the most productive work week, just with some daycare closures and some other things going on. But I've gotten to spend more time, kind of with my kids, and to me that's been really really valuable. In fact.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just the other day. In fact, I had them with me, and they were in kind of running our
Oh
running
my
our team meeting on Monday.
No daycare, no problem.
No problem.
I love that.
Um,
Though I used to think about, oh, it's you need to hustle, you need to grind, you need to that is a measure of success. But what I found is when I would see people taking time off or walking their dog in the middle of the day, I would think, wow, they must be successful if they can have that balance to go do that. They must have a team or a balanced lifestyle or because it really just is telling that if you can make time for, all these things that most people just don't, it's such a grind, 8 to 5. To me, that is a true piece of success
mhm.
when you can balance and take a day off and spend time with your kids at their Christmas concert in the middle of the day, whatever it is. That is success because you're not pouring all of your energy into one thing. You are prioritizing what's really important.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think a part of that does come too, like you say, with success, because I can think of years ago where I didn't have the leverage and didn't maybe have the business or the team that I have now, and
Yeah,
so it was a little bit more stressful and more grinding. But now having some of those pieces in place, does give
yeah,
you the freedom and flexibility, which I'm really grateful for because I look and just I mean life goes by so quick. So it's like
it's
what do
fleeting.
you want to spend your time doing?
Exactly. And
Not
like,
in the office, Kayla.
nah, but we're both in the office right now, so
We are in the office. Well, you got to spend a few minutes in the
a
office.
little bit. Yeah, but I agree.
So, Kayla, we saw some pretty awesome news this
Mhm.
week, did we not?
We sure did. Yesterday, the Fed announced that after 11 rate hikes, we're kind of pushing pauses for a little bit, it sounds like, um, which is great news, especially in years to come, because although it's an election year, we don't really know what will happen. But what the Fed has said, Andy, is that there will be 3 rate hikes rate hikes,
Boy,
rate
I hope not.
cuts.
I don't know if you're listening to the same Fed the rest of us are. But
I'm just used to saying rate hike, rate cuts in 2024, 6 in 2025, and 3 more in 2026. Now, again, the Fed has not always been spot on. We all know that, Barry Habib and his, forecasts haven't been, spot on. But what we do know is that there could be some relief coming for home buyers. And so a lot of people are probably thinking, well, I'm going to wait until I see this happen. I'm going to wait until rates drop. Now, that is a fine decision. You do you. But my advice to anybody that is truly wanting to purchase is if you are comfortable with the payment where rates are at now, you've seen them kind of, they're under 7 now. So they've come down as well, is get pre qualified, start searching, start looking because what happens, and Andy, we talked about this. There was a stat that said for every 1% decrease in interest rate, the buyer pool opens up by 3 million more people. And don't quote me on that exact stat, but think about it. We saw a market, Andy, that was insane. People were not able to even see homes. They were
Right.
waiving inspections, paying 50,000 over. We could very well see that happen again,
We
especially
could.
when all of these people are now, it's a frenzy. And so my advice is, hey, this is cool information. This is promising and hopeful, but get ahead of the game. Take advantage of the market today, seller concessions, as is pricing. You're not paying, over. Take advantage and you can refinance and get that lower rate should rates decrease like the Fed is stating. So that's my spiel, my thoughts as a mortgage lender. What are your thoughts on it, Andy?
Yeah, I think the same. I think it's been kind of interesting just kind of looking around at some of the trends out there. And, of course, we know that home sales are down. Home sales are down in virtually every market. I guess I've maybe seen, a couple areas where, I mean, they've maybe had more sales than the prior year, but that's pretty rare. I think we're starting to see things stabilize a little bit more, and just keeping in mind that, this time of year, it is a little bit slower. I mean, I feel like it's really,
Yeah.
really slow. I feel like in my business, it's the slowest I've seen it in the 3 years I've been around. But, kind of looking at, some charts and some information out there, just kind of looking at the new listings that are out there. It was on kind of a very steep downward projection, but now kind of leveling off, stabilizing, kind of going to be a little bit closer to the trends of years past. So that's, I mean, I think a positive thing as well. I mean, the rates are going to be really, really helpful. I've had a couple of people reach out just today that, are looking to get in the market. I've had a couple of people who are talking about selling. I think the biggest thing that's going to be key is going to be to get some movement from those that have been wanting to move, but they've been just kind of holding on because they love their low rate or they're paid off. And hey, if I need a little bit of a mortgage, I really don't like 8% versus below 7. And what are rates nationally, Kayla? Where are we sitting this week?
Yeah, so thank you for pulling this up. Yeah, right under 7. So today we're seeing a national average 30-year fix based on an excellent credit score and scenario, 6.62%. So, I mean, we were seeing 8% not that long ago, according to Mortgage News Daily. So, I mean, you can also see very telling is that 15 years, not that much different. We used to see a lot larger spread. So a 15-year 6.15, and then you can see, there's some arms out there that companies might have. FHA is going to be a little bit lower. It's a government product, and VA is even lower. So this doesn't include bond programs. This doesn't include, exact scenarios, investment properties, but I mean, they all shift together. So it's helpful.
Yeah, no, that's really, really awesome to see.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to me to see after the first of the year, how busy our spring is. I'm kind of predicting that it might be a little bit slower than it has been in the past.
It'll
Um,
be still Q1 for sure because we're not seeing rates plummet. We're seasonably slow. It's slower in real estate this time of year. People don't want to move during Christmas. I mean, snow in our area, snow prevents a lot of people from getting out and shopping and looking at homes. Although the weather's been pretty great, we see a reflection typically 60 days later. So if we're slow now, we're going to see a slow closing month in February. So
right.
Q1 will be slow, I think, but it'll pick up. But as a lender, I feel like you should never be slow. You should be out networking. You should be fine tuning your systems. You should be prospecting. So for me, I've not been slow, but my active files have been. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
we'll
That's
see
a
that.
better way of phrasing or framing it. And I
Yeah,
would say the same active wise,
yeah.
we've basically closed most everything that we have on the books for this year. We've got, some potential business after the first of the year here on the books, but yeah, it will be really interesting to see, where things go after the first of the year. I read in one of the newsletters I get the other day, Kayla, that it
Mhm.
talked about millennials, which technically is our generation.
Yes.
and just talking about the fact that millennials are more obsessed than their parents when it comes to real estate.
That's interesting. Why is that?
Well, so it says nearly 60% of millennials said they felt home ownership is more important now than it was for their parents. And just goes on and talks about, being, disadvantaged just because of the,
Yeah.
20-year high mortgage rates, and the like. I mean, a lot of those individuals have a lot of student debt, and so on
Mhm.
and so forth. But we know that this group is really, really hungry,
Mhm.
for housing. So I mean, obviously, we know closings happen every day. People need housing.
Yep.
I've been having more conversations, Kayla, with different groups, even in our community. And granted, you being in Fargo, I mean, there are so many developers up there that are building.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a slew of new homes. I look in my market, there is not a lot at all. I mean, unless someone is building for themselves, not many people doing spec houses. There's a developer doing a couple of them doing twin homes, targeting kind of the older population, which will free up some inventory for other people. But I see a huge opportunity in that realm as well.
For sure. I think a lot of the quotes I'm doing for clients right now, it's all new construction. There's so many builders right now that want to get rid of their inventory. They've got these homes, but I probably have, I talked to my assistant earlier. I said, we've got 6 or 7 people looking at new homes right now that are potentially looking to put in offers. And some of these could close in 30 days. Some are going to be 4, 5, 6 months out. But new construction is quite, it's a big hot topic, a good option in Fargo.
Sure,
Hmm.
sure. Yeah, you got and no doubt even a lot of I know because we've had some clients that have been looking in the Fargo market too, and just getting emails from some of the builders and the incentives that they're offering, in order to
Yeah,
move some of their inventory. So
we have lots of incentives for new home buyers, and we have that tax abatement, meaning you save $150,000 worth of your value, so it ends up being like $165 a month for the first 2 years. So you
no,
get cheaper home insurance, a tax abatement, and incentives. So a lot of people are exploring those options.
no, that's fantastic.
Hmm.
So well, Kayla, 30 episodes. It's kind of hard to believe.
So excited about that.
I know it's we were kind of, as we've talked about this, and I don't even remember how we, fully got here and said, hey, let's do it.
I do.
Well,
I was in
remind
my
me again.
car on a phone call with you when you're like, KK, we should collaborate. It was your idea. So this is all because of you, Andy.
Well, it's half because of you, but thanks for humoring me and jumping on board. It's been fun. And is this kind of our last episode for the year?
Yes, this is our last episode for season one, 30 episodes. And we'll have season 2 come out in January of 24. So, one of the things that I look back on is I always thought, was this worth it, Andy? Were we giving value? Were we connecting with people? Were we helping? There's a million podcasts out there. I
Sure.
don't know of many in our area in the Midwest and even, Fargo, Fergus Falls, etc. But I have gotten a lot of really great feedback of, even friends saying, hey, I just like to pop in and just hear what's going on because
Sure.
even though I'm not looking for a home, it makes me stronger with my conversations. Or, I really like the dynamic or hearing about what Andy's doing. And essentially we're able to connect with people, and I truly feel like this podcast has brought a lot of value to realtors, lenders, and anybody really. So I'm grateful that we've done it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think sometimes it's easy to question and be like, okay, it's one more thing to do this week. Is it worthwhile? Should we keep doing it? Should we not? And but I look around and I mean I run around the community or the region quite often. Or I was talking to someone basically in Iowa yesterday who
Hmm.
said, hey, I see your podcast and I really, really like it. And so I think it's one of those things that, there are a lot of people today too, obviously a lot of people that see it know us, but there are other people that are seeking it out. I had someone in my office just the other day,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to list their house and they've come across my videos on Facebook for listing homes. And then they set a podcast. And so it was a good non-threatening way for them to get to know me, those that I associate with, and so on and so forth. And so I think a lot of people out there, they want to gather information. They want to kind of try you out without having to actually engage you, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Well, and it's a lot easier for us to, pick up the phone and call someone, or when they know who we are, when they've heard us, they've seen us, they know who we are. We're not a cold call. We are not some
Yeah.
stranger. They feel like they get to know us. So,
Right.
amen.
Well, cheers to 30 episodes in a year, Kayla. It's been fun. 11 days till Christmas. I look out my office window and it looks like it's August or something, and the weather's beautiful. It's almost 50 degrees out, and hey, I'm going to take it. I was talking to one of my home builder friends. They're digging new basements still. They're really, really excited about it, but it's a little hard to get into the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to a little time off and spending time with family as well.
That's awesome. Do you have any traditions that you typically do or that you plan to do this year? Maybe a new tradition?
Oh, that is a good question. I mean, the typical getting together with family, doing the church thing. I mean, with our girls, we're doing, kind of the elf on the shelf type of thing. So
Oh,
that's somewhat of a
like a
holiday
full-time job.
tradition. Other than that, I don't know
Mhm.
that there's anything that unique. How about you and your families?
We do the advent calendar for our dogs through December. You probably get my Snapchats of Taryn and
Yep,
I
I do see
opening
it.
up. Yeah, we do that. But this year we are going to spend it at the lake. We've
Nice.
never done that, but we've decorated it at the lake. There is a sense of calm and peace and serenity that comes with being at the lake. We'll probably go into church in the local town there, and it's going to be a quiet Christmas. My family is not getting together as a group. We're so big, so
Yeah.
we're all kind of having our own family thing. And then I think we're going to take some time off. My husband and I, Tara and I, we haven't really taken time off this year. And I asked him this morning, I said, have you even taken vacation this year? And he's like, those 2 days I did, but I worked. And so it's just kind of you said it earlier, Andy. It's like,
Yeah.
I think we're going to prioritize a little bit of family time in the next couple of weeks. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Good for you.
maybe make a spicy cocktail and make it Christmassy.
Fantastic, Kayla. It's been a lot of fun. Merry Christmas to you guys and to everybody out there, watching or listening as well. And we'll look forward to coming back
Yeah.
for season 2 after the first of the year.
Yes, we will. I'm excited for it. It's been a pleasure, Andy, being by your side this year.
All right. Catch you later, Kayla.
Sounds good. See you later.
Yeah.